Today is a day that's unlike any other. Today we take the time to reflect and celebrate our mothers. I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and I want you to know that even though you may not have given birth to a child physically, all of us, I think, that are females are mothers in some way, shape, or form. So don't hesitate to raise your hands. How many of you are mothers? You betcha. How many are grandmothers? Okay, the biggie, who's a great-grandmother? No great-grandmothers? Oh, shucks. Oh, you are, yay! And the daughter's going, leave me alone, mother, leave me alone, leave me alone. She's, whose mom is still living today? Anybody? Yay, bless you. You are fortunate for those of us who have lost our mothers. When I was growing up as a child, we used to wear flowers on Mother's Day. You wore a white flower if your mother had passed, and you wore a red flower if your mother was still alive. Everybody remember that custom that we had? Or you're going, huh, never heard of it. Didn't know that existed. Well, we all have a mother, and we can't get to earth without her. So we all have expectations of what a mother should be and how she should act and what she should do. And each one of us place and have placed certain expectations on our mothers. We expect mothers to be there when we need them the most. We expect her not to be there when we're teenagers, when we don't want her around. And let me tell you, we expect her to know everything except what we don't want her to know. But let me tell you, she'll always find it out sooner or later. It may take a little time. And, and if she doesn't know it, she will find it out. I love the story of the frazzled mother who sent her little boy to bed. And as she sent him to bed, he was mumbling as he went along, how come it's when she's tired, I'm the one that has to lay down for a nap? Or there's the one about the family that just had their fourth child, and all four of the kids were under 5 years of age. And some friends had sent a new playpen to the couple, and a few days later, they received, the folks that had sent it received a thank you note from the new mother, and she said, it's just what we needed. Thank you. I sit in it every afternoon and read, and the kids can't get to me. I heard one just recently about a mother who had spent all day with her kids and nothing was going right for her. It was just, she was frazzled, she was exasperated, she was tired, there was too much porridge on her body, from everything that she had had to deal with. And that evening, a member of the church showed up and knocked on the door, and she allowed him to come in and sit down. And his first question was, how would you like to live forever? And she looked at him and said, after a day by today, I don't think I could handle it. There is no other job in the world that is as heartbreaking or rewarding as motherhood. And no other job will ever have the influence or the impact on the world like parenting does. 90% of the teenagers in America today have said that the person who had the greatest influence on them was one of their parents. That influence, of course, can be good or bad. The world these days, with the economic structure, society, COVID, and a multitude of other challenges, places all kinds of experiences on mothers. A sign posted in a restaurant recently said or read, our pies are just like your mother used to make before she went back to work. And remember how you were in school, you always made cards or the clay ashtrays because you couldn't figure out what else to make, or the lanyard necklaces that you made for Mother's Day. And then as we grew older, we saved our allowance, or maybe we went to Dad and got a loan from Dad to be able to go get something a little bit better that was in the store, that was store-bought, that we wanted to give. And each year on this special day, children and husbands all around the world take the time to purchase a special gift for their mothers and wives. If you're a last-minute shopper and you haven't purchased your gift for your mother yet, or your wife, let me give you a couple of helpful hints on what not to buy. Don't buy Mom anything with a plug. If something needs a plug in it, she's going to think it's a tool, like the can opener on the counter. If Mom doesn't currently have a membership in a gym, I don't recommend it. Or buy her exercise equipment or a video that will allow her to do that, because this will lead to 6 months of her asking why you think she needs exercise in the first place. I guarantee you that will never have the right answer to that question. And if you ask her where she really wants to eat today for lunch, more than likely she's going to say, oh, it doesn't matter, you choose. And my advice is, it does matter. You choose means be sure to take me to my favorite restaurant. Mother's Day is the one day of many throughout the year that moms should be placed upon a pedestal and thanked for all they do and all they did. Besides the things we can buy as gift, I believe there are 5 things far more important that we can give our mothers every day of the year that don't cost a dime, which will mean far more than a gold necklace or pearls or anything else. What are those 5 things? Affirmations, affection, acknowledgement, attention, and appreciation. Those of you who have been parents, you know that inner feeling that you made a wrong decision regarding your child. Maybe your punishment you thought afterwards was too harsh, or you denied them time with a friend or the ability to go someplace special, or you didn't say the right thing when they were really hurting emotionally. Your negativity kicked in and frustration took over, and then that child, that teenager, or that adult reminded you that through an affirmation, what a great mom you really are. It might have sounded something like, it was great being with you, Mom, today. Thanks. Or none of the other kids' moms were there helping their kids. Thanks, Mom. I'm glad you were. Ernest Holmes tells us automatically you get rid of negatives by the implanting of positives. Negatives cannot exist when positives fill the space. When the sunshine of love and confidence fills your whole being, the darkness of the negatives has disappeared. When kids are little, lap time is a special time. It's when mother and child can express affection to each other through hugs, sitting and reading together, or just that moment of seriousness when you sit there being completely and totally still. Then as the little ones get older, hugs and kisses and times together become less and less. They don't want you to display public affection in front of their friends. For God's sakes, drop me off at school about a block away. Abraham Maslow tells us that the famous, and he's a famous psychologist, and he's the one that developed Maslow's hierarchy of needs, stated the fact is that people are good. Give people affection and security, and they will give affection and be secure in their feelings and their behavior towards others. As parents, that's what we do with our children. We give affection to our children so they can grow and be secure in who they are. Maybe that part of their need for independence was when they stopped showing us affection. But it's never too late to go back to those moments and do it again. All of us need acknowledgement, including moms. When someone fails to notice us, we feel that we do not exist, at least for them. We end up with a sense that our identity is diminished. This is even more fundamental than the need for acceptance. When people acknowledge us, even just for a brief moment, we feel a sense of connection to them. This is a step towards bonding and the joining of identities. There is a sequence of acknowledgement, of approval, acceptance, before a person can sense or feel that they have been fulfilled and that their need for belonging has happened. The more approval someone receives helps to build a foundation of self-respect and esteem. One of the greatest ways we can express acknowledgement to someone, but especially our mothers, is through gratitude. When was the last time any of us told our mother thank you for all that she had done for us? It's never too late. We can always express gratitude even when our moms are long gone. I believe they know. I took flowers to my mom's niche yesterday, and we had a long talk together. It's never too late. When was the last time you gave your mother unexpected attention? Maybe you took her out for coffee or a Sunday ride. Oh, my mother used to love Sunday rides. As a teenager, I'd go, I couldn't stand it. Remember when they would drop everything to help you do a class project? Or rush you to the doctor because you hurt yourself? Positive attention, regardless of how old an individual is, helps to keep our brains charged, expanded, active, and our ability to learn at its height. It helps us to live in the moment. As we grow older, it is extremely important that we create new pathways in our brains. Conversations help us to do that. Or learning a new skill as someone teaches us also keeps us young and mentally alert and viable. Sometimes as we age, it is a challenge to stay in the moment. Attention from others can bring us back to the present moment. Giving our moms attention is far more important than any bouquet, a box of chocolates, or a gold chain. There are a multitude of reasons why appreciating others helps to strengthen their lives. The Australian psychologist or psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl suggested that human beings are motivated by a will to meaning. We flourish when we live with a sense of meaning and purpose in our lives. Being a mother gives meaning to us all. We feel important when someone appreciates what we have done. We as human beings, it helps us with a connection, a long connection. And who among you will ever forget the moment your child, just born, was laid on your chest? It was an instant connection, unlike any other. During that precious moment when someone sees us, praises us, or validates us, there is a spontaneous connection that can arise. Feeling appreciated strengthens the bonds between two people. It helps satisfy our longing for healthy attachments. Voltaire once said, appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well. Appreciation builds trust in our relationships. I would be remiss today if I didn't talk about love. It wasn't on my original list, but it above all is so important. When was the last time you gave your mom a big hug or a kiss on the cheek? She's the first person who ever touched you. She wrapped you in her womb for months, and you came out and you were her first priority as she was holding you, and she cuddled you, and she stroked your head, and she rubbed your feet, and she gave you a finger to hang on to. In love that she did all of these things. When you were little, she changed your diapers, she potty trained you, she held the Kleenex for you to blow your nose on. She wiped the food off your face probably a few years longer than what you wished she would have. She constantly touched you. Why? Because there was a bond of love between you. Why? Or that hug or kiss could mean more to her than flowers or candy or eating out today. It's your human touch that expresses love unsaid. This afternoon, some of you may go to a nursing home to visit your mothers. Remember how important that loving, kind, and caring touch is to her. In my book, we can't give enough love to those who brought us into this world. Hungarian writer Utomo Leleknek, I won't even give you the spelling, it's such a challenge, used to share a parable. In a mother's womb were two babies. One asked the other, "Do you believe in life after delivery?" The other replied, "Why, of course. There has to be something after delivery. Maybe we are here to prepare ourselves for what will happen later." "Nonsense," said the first one. "There is no life after delivery. What kind of life would there be?" The second one looked at him in amazement. "I don't know, but there may be more light than there is in here. Maybe we will walk with our legs and eat with our mouths. Maybe we will have other senses that we can't understand right now." The first replied, "That is absolutely absurd. Walking is impossible, and eating with your mouth absolutely ridiculous. The umbilical cord supplies nutrition and everything we need, but the umbilical cord is so short, life after delivery is to be logically excluded." The second one just kind of shook its head and insisted, "Well, I think there is something. Maybe it's different than it is here in this place. Maybe we won't need this physical cord anymore." And the first one again replied, "Nonsense! And moreover, if there is life, then why has no one ever returned and come back here? Delivery is the end of life. And in the after delivery, there is nothing but darkness and silence," said the first one. It takes us nowhere." "Well, I don't know," said the second one. "But certainly we can meet Mother, and she will take care of us." The first replied, "Mother, you actually believe in a mother? That's laughable. If Mother exists, then where is she right now?" The second one grew a little bit silent and finally said, "She's all around us. We are surrounded by her. We are her. It is in her that we live. Without her, this world would not and could not exist." Said the first, "Well, I don't see her, so if it's only logical that she doesn't exist." And to which the second one replied, "Sometimes when you're in your silence and you really focus and you really listen, you can perceive her presence and you can hear her loving voice calling down from up above." And so we celebrate our mothers this special day in May. Let us remember, as children, regardless of our age, we can give all of our love and appreciation to our mothers. Indeed, we are of her and surrounded by her. This is the truth in my life, and this is the truth in yours. And so it is. Amen.